Ladies and gentlemen, a statement from Pete Blackburn.
Earlier this week, I had a regrettable and unfortunate lapse of judgment for which I want to apologize. I have long promised myself that I would not sink so low as to get outraged and emotionally triggered by the Golden Globes, an award show that we all really know doesn't actually mean anything. And yet, this past Sunday night, I allowed myself to enter a blackout rage after the tremendously unspectacular and completely undeserving Bohemian Rhapsody won Best Picture in the drama category. While I do not regret my seething scorn of Bohemian Rhapsody, a film that's emotional peak features a despondent Freddie Mercury dolefully saying, "Ayo," to a stranger just seconds after being diagnosed with AIDS, I am angry at myself for how wholeheartedly unprepared I was for the rewarding of such garbage by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Admittedly, at some point, I may have tricked myself into believing that the Globes held a shred of dignity and self-respect, and that's nobody's fault but my own. I was raised and educated better than that to be so naive. All I can ask for is forgiveness from anyone who was unfortunate enough to find themselves in the path of my emotional self-destruction, and I can promise to you, and myself, that I will work on becoming better and stronger each day to ensure that this will never happen again. This is a teachable moment that I will carry with me to the end of time. And although I will never be able to forgive the Hollywood Foreign Press, hopefully I will one day be able to forgive myself. Thank you.
Brunch! Hit it, boys!
I'd like to give you a nickname. Brave Pete. Because that was very brave.
Thank you very much. It was
Sunday.
Not easy.
You know what? Let's talk about Sunday. Let's have a talk about Sunday. I tried to run. I did. I tried to run from Sunday. I made plans to not be in my home, not be near televisions. For the inauguration years ago, I don't know how long Trump was president.
Honestly.
It was a really long time ago. I went to a spin class so as to not be around screens. I tried to get away from it. So Sunday I took a similar approach. I didn't go to spin class. I had already gone that morning. I'm not going to go twice in a day. I'm not. What am I?
The Hulk?
Right. What am I? The Hulk? So I made plans to just go out. And as the night went on, I found myself in a bar. And someone pointed out, "Hey, the Globes are on. The Globes.
That's what they call them.
Did you love them? The Globes. They're doing movies." And I said, "Hey, that's not what this is about." And I sat there and I said, "You know what? The sound was off. Touch Tunes was going. I was spinning the hits, but eventually it kind of I'm reading lips suddenly. I'm eager to see what's going on." And I saw Rami Malek win for Best Actor, which really upset me.
Honestly, in
Don't
dead
do this.
Seriousness.
Don't say it's just the lesser of two evils. It's not bad. It's still bad.
I was willing to let that one go. I was willing to let it go. Rami Malek was.
He seems like a nice guy.
He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
And I thought that he was the best part of that movie. And I know that you didn't feel too strongly about his performance. I will say.
Well, I did feel strongly about it.
That's true. I was willing to let that one go because, again, it's the Golden Globes. It does not matter. And at least he was good, in my opinion. And I'm fine with giving. All I wanted was for them not to reward garbage at the Golden Globes, and I felt that that's what they did with Best Picture. I can't say the same about Best Actor. I thought there was definitely more deserving candidates, but I was willing to let it pass. I mean, they gave the wife to Glenn Close for Best Actress. I haven't seen that movie, but I bet she wasn't better than Melissa McCarthy.
That's a terrible argument to make because you haven't seen one of them. But
I'm willing to bet.
I've got to say, I've seen 3 movies in the last calendar week. 2 of them featured better Freddie Mercury performances than Rami Malek.
The one was Lin-Manuel Miranda in Mary Poppins.
Yes, he was way more Freddie Mercury-like than Rami Malek was as Freddie Mercury. And then one of the guys in The Favorite. There's only two guys in The Favorite, but the one that she doesn't marry.
Okay, yeah.
That other guy I'm pretty sure that guy was the lead singer of the Struts anyway, so I was like, that's a better Freddie Mercury.
I think that's Nicholas Hoult.
Is it?
Yeah, he was the guy in Mad Max.
Oh, yes, that's why I looked familiar, but he also looked familiar because he kind of looked like the guy from the Struts, so I think we'll move forward with him being bootleg guy from the Struts. I actually thought that he was quite good in that movie. We'll talk about both of those movies, but I was annoyed enough when Rami Malek won, but when Bohemian Rhapsody won, I almost want to see the footage of myself because I basically my body didn't faint, but like my face did. It's
like a real out of body experience.
Yeah, it was. Again, Golden Globes don't matter. I didn't care about watching the Golden Globes. And really, when I intentionally didn't watch the Golden Globes, it wasn't because I didn't want to get annoyed by things or I didn't want to get triggered, because I was like, nothing can happen in the Golden Globes that'll make it. Like, the Grammys are the lions, right? The lions don't concern themselves with the opinions of sheep.
Yes.
Right. Which I can't imagine lions know that sheeps have opinions, or that lions know what opinions are.
Or that lions
so that's why they don't.
Or that lions are just like, I don't care what that guy thinks.
What if lions are like the sweetest, most considerate species in the world? Maybe they do consider
just getting a bad rap.
But I just don't. I thoroughly don't care about the Golden Globes because they don't matter.
Right, and at the start of the night, I literally told myself, I was like, all right, don't get too worked up. None of this really matters. It's whatever. And I didn't. I enjoyed the show. Like, I didn't think too much about the winners and stuff like that until the very end. And the very end just really triggered me, because there is no way that you can have like a professional critic's opinions of movies and look at those movies that were nominated and say that Bohemian Rhapsody was the best one, and especially the best drama.
I don't understand. Like, did they think that they were being woke by being like, oh, Queen, Freddie Mercury, gay icon and everything? Because it was a movie that kind of did a disservice, I would say, to his homosexuality. Like, it was a movie about a gay icon that
got
kind of
outed
was
by his girlfriend.
The movie was like ashamed of him being gay. The way that they totally danced around it, and like were in very few ways overt. And not to use the word necessarily as like a gay term, but Freddie Mercury was flamboyant in everything he did, and they really did not make him right. And they really, really did not play to that at all. Like that movie just did such a disservice to him, and it's so weird watching Brian May and being like, I hate you, Brian May. It's like,
I hate what you've done.
Right.
I hate who you've become.
Right. It's like if I was like a kid, I'd like yell at my parents and be like, I hate you, Mom. And like,
deep down,
let me tell you, I am crazy about my mom.
Yeah.
I love my mom so much. I love Brian May like more than anything.
But in this moment, I do hate you.
I've had a falling out with Brian May. It's just terrible seeing him go up there and kind of reap the rewards of this terrible work he's done. But gotta say, and I tweeted this, Roger Taylor looked delicious. Did you see?
No.
He had a mustache that was just like very like well groomed. I don't know what he's up to there, but looked great.
And I hated so many different aspects of this win. And one of them was the fact that Mike Myers is like now like a central part of this acceptance and things like that. Like I saw the video afterwards backstage where he was giving like this speech about how everything's come full circle with him. And I know that we've talked about that before, but like, dude, your
can
role
make whatever
in that
you want
movie
come full circle
sucked.
when you make it up.
Yeah.
Like
your role was fucking fake. Your entire plot line was completely generated for the sake of screen, which I know that a lot of movies do that. My biggest issue with this movie is that they didn't need to fucking make shit up.
And that goes back to our initial Bohemian Rhapsody takedown episode. A lot of people, because I've been getting this shit on Twitter, people were like, you realize that based on a true story doesn't mean like shot for shot, blah blah. I'm like, cool, yeah, that's because this true story isn't as fucking cool as the one that they make.
Yeah.
How is this story cooler than the story of Queen? Again, YouTube any sort of like documentary on a night at the opera or a day at the races, anything that they recorded, or just interviews with Freddie Mercury or the Live Aid performance, and you'll just be blown away. Queen Rock Montreal, any of those things, they could have just done that. And the actual performance of Live Aid is the only thing that they seemingly wanted to get right, and they kind of put all their effort into doing that, which, sweet, that was really cool, but it was too late.
Yeah.
You know how I know it was too late? Because it was literally the last thing they showed you. They showed you every bad thing in the world.
And the first thing.
They showed him, I think, walking out, which was actually pretty impressive because, according to the movie, his AIDS was so bad at that point, which he didn't have. Yeah. He did not have AIDS at that point. They wheeled him out.
Yes.
He did not have AIDS.
And like, so like my anger here. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm telling people that they can't enjoy the movie. If you like the movie, fine, whatever. Like, I'm going to think lesser of you if you enjoyed that movie. But I understand that there's like a pretty split reaction on it based off of like viewer score and stuff like that. And I get it. Like, if you're going into that movie, you just want to watch people fucking dance around and play Queen on screen.
You're not going to see him dance that much, though.
That's true.
You're not even going to see dancing.
If you just want to look at somebody pretend to be Queen for like 2 hours on the screen while you listen to some actual Queen music, fine, whatever. Like, there's a good chance you would have been happy with whatever bullshit was on the screen in that movie for 2 hours. Whatever. You're allowed to like bad movies. I like bad movies. But if you can't recognize that was the absolute worst movie in that category, then you're a fucking dumbass.
That's
like that is literally something you need to be able to associate the two. Where it's like, I like this bad movie, and saying like it did not deserve Best Picture.
Oh god, I mean, like there's a reason why when we're talking about like, movies that we think will be nominated and everything.
Right, I'm not putting my favorite movies.
We're not talking about Mamma Mia 2.
I am saying Paddington should
We're not,
be.
like, I was never legitimately saying, like, Happy Death Day should be nominated. Like, you can love a movie that you know on some levels is cheap or corny or bad.
So here's the thing. You can say that Bohemian Rhapsody was your favorite movie of the year. You cannot say that Bohemian Rhapsody was the best movie of the year. If you think that Bohemian Rhapsody was the best movie of the year, you didn't see enough movies.
And that's something on which I reflected the next day. Like, when I just got after my initial rage, I was like, how could a person, and again, I am the calm down about A Star is Born person, how could a person possibly see those two movies and not only think A Star is Born is way better than Bohemian Rhapsody, but not think one of these is a movie? What the hell is this other thing? Like that is how big the gap is between those two. And I mean, it sucks. Golden Globes are trash. Again, I didn't watch, so I don't really know anything else from the Golden Globes other than and the Golden Globes kind of divvies up they get more specific. They'll do Best Picture for Drama versus Best Picture for Comedy or whatever. And Grammy or the Oscars will really just tell you how they really feel, which I appreciate. One thing I've realized as I've been just from seeing a glimpse of that, and as I'm starting to knock off movies that I think will be nominated, Best Actress years it's either like all or nothing. It's either like, okay, it's obvious Julianne Moore is going to win for Still Alice, or you're like, man, it could be anybody this year. I want Melissa McCarthy to win. I hope that she does. But this year, I think that Best Actress is like the category because it's going to be packed.
Who else is in there for you? The woman from The Favorite was great. She won the Golden Globes.
Yeah, she was awesome. Melissa McCarthy, Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga too, yeah.
Those are like that. That's really like the kind of the three-headed race. But still, like with individual awards, so like actor, actress, supporting actress, it's usually down to like 2 or 3 people. Yeah. This has like 3, I think, kind of knockout performances that I wouldn't be surprised if any of those three won.
And now that I think about it, Carey Mulligan in Wildlife was unbelievable too.
Oh, really?
So I would not be shocked if she got a nom.
I still have to see Wildlife. That's got like a super. That's the 100 on Rotten Tomatoes movie.
Is it? I didn't know. It was
Is
that
Ben
high.
Foster
but
in it?
No, Jake Gyllenhaal is.
What's one with Ben Foster? There's one with Ben Foster. That
Wildlife's 94 on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Maybe it is that movie, and Ben Foster's just not in any of these movies.
Probably not.
Which is crazy because Ben Foster's in a lot of movies. What do you think's going to win best Lucas Hedges movie?
Hopefully not Boy Erased, because I didn't like Boy Erased.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
When did that come out?
A couple months ago, I think. Like I saw it as part of a double feature. Oh, it was Wildlife and Boy Erased.
Really?
Yeah.
You went to a double... Oh, like you did like a manual double feature?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like, hey, here, watch these two very different movies. Yeah, no, I wasn't crazy about Boy Erased.
But he's in that Ben is Back one.
That's true. Has that come out yet?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
I mean, I am annoyed that...
It actually has.
Mid-90s. Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's out right now.
Nice. Mid-90s isn't getting the love that I want it to, and What's It Called isn't getting the love I want it to. A Simple Favor, but can't have everything.
Right.
I mean, we're busy giving awards to goddamn Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, and if I wasn't mad enough on Sunday night that Bohemian Rhapsody won, I had to wake up on Monday morning and see fucking Bryan Singer take a victory lap on Instagram about winning best fucking picture at the Golden Globes when he was kicked off that project like 2 weeks into
I
it.
thought
And
that he was joking.
No.
Really?
And I did not realize that he got a directorial credit on that movie. He got the directorial credit on that movie.
Like the primary one?
Yes. No, like the only one.
Wow.
It is. I looked it up.
Movies suck so much they snowmanned the directing.
No, there was another director. It just.
I think his name is Brian May.
And it says uncredited next to his name, which is fucking wild. Let me look it up. Let me see. Yeah. Directed by Bryan Singer, and then underneath that, Dexter Fletcher, uncredited. So it just comes up with directed by Bryan Singer.
Huh.
That is the... if there wasn't enough things that I hated about this movie, it gives the lone directorial credit to a noted fucking sex predator.
Right, that was
booted off for being a sex predator 2 weeks into the movie.
Yeah,
insane.
Good project you're all supporting though. Really good.
And I don't want to get like too into that aspect of like my hate towards
Why not?
this
Let's
movie.
have the conversation.
But like there are so many things to hate, and the fact that I'm seeing this guy feel like he deserves... you can say that he doesn't deserve credit for it, but he clearly feels like he's getting credit for this award, so it pisses me off.
You know what pisses me off?
What's that?
Men.
Oh, yeah. Bryan Singer's a man.
Bryan Singer's a man, and 66% of men lose their hair by age 35. Come on, guys, clean it up. By the time you're noticing your hair loss, guess who else is? Other men and women. Everybody.
Ooh,
They're
shit.
saying, that guy. Gross. So, if you're starting to notice a little something yourself, don't let everyone make fun of you. Think about a year from now when it's just getting worse. Here's what I'm going to ask you. You want a bald spot to pop up?
I don't.
You want to do something about it?
Sure do.
Do you want your hairline to recede?
No.
You want to do something about it?
Yes.
Well, don't turn to weird solutions. We're your weird solution for podcasts, but when it comes to hair, don't mess around. Go to a real solution like forhims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness. Yeah.
I don't know why I did the Blues Clues for sexual wellness, but go ahead.
That is, I was going to make a joke that I won't make. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss, well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. Snake oils? Nah. Gas stations counter supplements? Yeah. No, actually, no, it says that no. No gas station counter supplements. We always mess that one up. Prescription solutions that are backed by science. There's no waiting room. There's no awkward in-person doctor's visit. You save hours by going to forhims.com. answer a few quick questions. Doctor will review and prescribe you. Products are shipped directly to your door, so they bring the products to you.
Bow.
Order now. Brunch listeners get a free trial month of Hims for just $5 today. Right now, while supplies last. See website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. Go to forhims.com/brunch. That's forhims.com/brunch. forhims.com/brunch.
Bam! I just want to say we're getting closer to Oscar season. Obviously,
Yeah.
We're going to be doing those videos again. We're going to knock out those nominees.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we did every Best Picture category. We did videos and stuff and separate episodes. Planning on doing that again this year.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing a mad scramble at the end to catch up and see all the nominees. I feel like we're in pretty good shape this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've seen things as they've come. So
Right. And that's always important. You always want to see things as they come. So see us as we come with you, at you, with some great Oscars content over the next month and a half, 2 months. Deal.
We're going to do a quick little frequently asked questions about this episode. What's with the sound, you asked? We are recording this on top of a mountain.
Yes, it is our first live episode.
Mountaintop episode.
Yes, our first live episode from the top of the Himalayas.
We're not... Don't lie to them. But we are on a mountain.
Yes, we are.
The little mountain...
The little mountain that could.
The little mountain we call Earth. We saw a lot of movies, all of which were better than Bohemian Rhapsody. So we're going to talk about 3 movies. We're going to talk about The Favorite, Poppins, and Escape Room. Before we jump into any of them, would you agree that you liked all of them more than you liked Bohemian Rhapsody?
For sure, 2 of them. Escape Room, I would say that like for 80% of the time, I was having a better time than I was during Bohemian Rhapsody.
None of them made me so mad, and Bohemian Rhapsody made me so mad. I will tell you, one of them made me kind of mad, but
Which one? Which one are we talking about here?
I'll be honest, Mary Poppins.
Really? I mean, there's no way that I was going to get mad at Escape Room.
You thought it was going to be Escape Room?
Not really, because there's no way that I was going to walk out of Escape Room and be like, that was way worse than I expected.
Tell you what, if you had epilepsy, you would have been super mad.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
There were warnings as you would. Was there a sign?
I didn't see any
There
warnings.
was a sign. I went opening morning to see Escape Room, and there was a sign. It was like, "Yo, if you have epilepsy,
Get the fuck
you
out."
cannot see this movie." And I was like,
How bad could it
can
be?
I want to buy 5 more tickets. Like, what could this? What does this mean? What do you want to say? Let's start with Escape Room.
Yeah, let's do it.
Escape Room is it's basically every sequel of Saw you've seen. It's like everyone's got to get out alive.
Yeah.
And it's a House of Horrors kind of.
Guess
movie.
what it is? It's if Saw and the Belko Experiment got together and had a nice bang sesh.
A lot of Belko Experiment vibes to
Yes.
it as well. So one scene in, the movie starts with someone escaping, trying to escape a trap that is, the room is closing in and it's going to crush him to death. Literally, I think that's Saw 4. So I wrote down one scene and I wrote, okay, so it's
They
Saw.
literally stole the first room from Saw.
10 minutes in, they start getting these kind of quirky invites to, like, this thing. So 10 minutes in, it's Would You Rather.
Yep. I did think of that.
All of my notes, like, I put right down, like, okay, so it's this bad movie we've seen. It's this bad movie we've seen. I'm pretty sure that they did reuse certain Saw sets. Like, there was a part where they're, you know, when they all get their medical records or whatever, or they see that they find out that they're all lone survivors. That is, like, where Saw 3 takes place. I'm almost sure of it. Where they have John Kramer in a hospital bed and they're trying to tend to him. It's, yeah. But overall, somebody says surviving is a choice. Make yours. It is Saw paraphrase.
Yeah, that's true.
Saw is live or die, make your choice. So surviving is a choice, make yours. That is
very close.
That is such a paraphrased Saw.
That is, I copied your homework, but I made it different enough that we won't get caught.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
like, come
right.
on, man.
Yeah, like, who is possibly going to bust us? Thoughts on the film?
I will say it started, and I was very worried right off the bat. As soon as the first scene happened, it was just the guy in the room talking to himself and sort of explaining shit, and I was like, ooh, this dude is a terrible actor, and this is not going to go well. But
You know who that actor is?
No.
He's What's he?
Me neither.
He's bootleg. No, he's in? Shit. He's either in Halloween or he's in
Love, Simon, baby.
Love, Simon.
Yeah, he's Love, Simon.
He's the bad guy in
he?
Love, Simon, who's constantly threatening to out Simon. But he's also the son in Would You Rather. He's the son of the guy who has everybody there. Who has he's the son of the ringleader of the whole experiment.
Interesting. He was also in fucking The Walking Dead, so definitely hate that kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him. So I was definitely worried off the bat. I gotta say, this movie held my attention and had me on the edge of my seat for a good portion of it. I for sure know that it's not a good movie.
I would say it held my attention the whole way.
Yeah, but I mean, I was not mocking it until the last 15 to 20% of it. It really went off the rails at the end.
It did the Belko experiment move.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is so these people are in this escape room thing, and we'd be remiss if we haven't mentioned Jay Ellis yet, but Jay Ellis is one of the people. That kid is one of the people. Bootleg, the kid from Grand Budapest Hotel, is one of those people. Can we do bootlegs with kids?
Yes.
But Bootleg, the kid from Grand Budapest Hotel, is in it, and the stakes are higher than you think, and people are dying, and blah blah. It's every Saw sequel that's a horror, House of Horrors that you've ever seen. But it did the thing that the Belko experiment did, which was at the end when the person gets out, it turns out it's way bigger than they thought, and it just presents this whole new fucking big thing.
They over-explained it. They got too ambitious with the explanation of why this is happening. Nobody really cares about that.
Right, we just want to see who got out.
Yeah, and I think Saw really kind of did that in the best way possible.
Yes.
Where it was the ending was it was that guy.
Yes.
Who did it.
Right.
And it was oh, cool.
Right, and it was never really about trying to figure out the plot or anything.
The system.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, very similar to the Belko experiment.
And even in the sense that, I don't think nobody's going to be pissed if we spoil this, but, at the end, when they just go into this room and there's a bunch of cameras and there's one guy just, watching everything.
Belko experiment.
Exactly
That's
the same.
Experiment.
Exactly the same thing in a warehouse by himself.
Yeah.
And it was sit down, let's have a chat about this, and it's this is exactly the Belko experiment.
My big fat would you rather live or die, make your choice experiment.
Yes.
Wait. Okay. I got would you rather.
And I think one of my biggest complaints about this movie was that they took too long to get to the oh shit, this is real sort of realization.
Yeah.
In the escape room, they almost die 3 or 4 times before they actually are okay, this is actually happening. They had to literally watch somebody die.
Well, the first they almost died thing would have killed all of them. So,
which one?
The whole room explodes.
Yes, yeah.
The whole room.
Yeah.
So their first little hint that this might be real is the entire room explodes.
Yes.
So and fortunately they all get out, but if they had not figured that out, then what's this movie?
And not got out by a good margin.
Oh, it's by a hair of their dick.
One of the kids literally, his foot caught on fire. That's how close he was to dying.
Who's the last one that gets out? Is it Bootleg Grand Budapest Hotel kid? Yeah. He's also in Dope. Bootleg Dope kid.
Really?
Have you ever seen Dope?
I've seen Dope. Dope is amazing.
Dope is pretty great.
Amazing.
Shouts out Stacy from The Wood. Also, rest in peace, Bootleg kid from Grand Budapest Hotel. He's the only character in it that knows anything about escape rooms. He's a professional escape room player, and he's for sure the first that dies.
Yeah.
He's the only one who knows
funny.
how to do these things, and they just kill him the first second that they get.
I'm pretty sure that kid is not in Dope, because I'm on his page right now, and it's just 5 movies, and they're all terrible.
Wait,
he's in a movie.
The Grand Budapest Hotel kid is in Dope.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm on his page right now.
No, you're not, because it says escape room.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, that's the...
Yeah, that's the kid.
So this is the kid.
That's the and this is the movies that he's in.
Yeah, that is not the Grand Budapest Hotel kid.
I know.
That's bootleg.
Oh,
Grand
okay,
Budapest Hotel
okay.
Kid. Yeah, I'm saying Grand
okay.
Budapest Hotel Kid is in both Grand Budapest Hotel, dope, and for sure not Escape Room.
But
you might have been thinking of bootleg Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yes, bootleg Grand Budapest Hotel Kid
is in nothing.
Is also in bootleg Taken, and it's called Tooken.
I did see that in his credits.
Yeah.
There was what was the Amy Schumer Goldie Hawn movie?
Oh no,
that was supposed to be called Tooken, I think.
Really? Yeah, I don't know. I forget. I didn't see that movie. So let's move on.
Nobody saw that movie. What do we think of Jay Ellis' character? Jay Ellis plays an asshole.
Yeah,
and he plays like a real bro. And I think that I've been mocking bros for so long.
He makes
that
bros
when I
look good,
see
man.
an actual bro, yeah, maybe it's just because he's so handsome. So he's like a douchey bro. The kid asks the Grand Budapest Hotel kid asks because his thumbs are messed up. He says, "Are you still able to play video games?" And Jay Ellis says, "No, I just have sex with women instead." Dude, no. So like, if I heard an actual person say that, I'd be like, "Oh my god, you don't have sex with women, you fucking loser."
No shit, but like when it comes out of Jay Ellis' mouth, you're like,
I was like, man, that guy's cool. I bet he does have sex with women.
And I give credit to the movie because they could have so easily cast like the most douchebag Wall Street looking kid ever, because that's basically what Jay Ellis' character was.
He is like his posture is just like he just carries himself.
He is like a silver spoon Wall Street douchebag, like straight off the set of Wolf of Wall Street. And if they had went like the easy route there and put any sort of like white.
Like a pudgy white kid?
Yes. Yeah. It would have made the movie so much less enjoyable because I would have just been like, oh my god, fuck this kid.
Well, that's because like your typical Wall Street bro is like he's only handsome because he's wearing a suit. He's like an out of shape. Honestly, kind of got my type of body. Yeah. Like just like a little like baby fat. Jay Ellis,
like the layers hide it.
Yeah, I was talking the other day about Jay Ellis interned for the Trailblazers.
Really,
and it was like during the Jailblazers day.
Okay,
days. I think it's so hilarious. Like, how did people walk around there, like the Trailblazers offices or whatever, not being like, hey, so not to be weird, but like our intern is fucking beautiful, right?
Yeah, and great move by the movie, not only to cast Jay Ellis in that role to make him tolerable and make the character kind of enjoyable.
Well, he plays a murderer, but...
Yeah, but I use an enjoyable character. You don't have to be a good guy to be enjoyable in movies. And great move to make the first room super fucking hot so that all the people just take their clothes off.
Sweat them out.
Yes.
Sweat them out.
So that is just a classic horror movie move to just make them take their clothes off as early in the movie as possible.
Did you understand how the main character survived?
No, absolutely not. So like the opening scene.
So in the third to last room, so one person dies with each thing, which is very convenient. One person dies.
Wait, actually, I gotta say, like there are two surviving characters. I don't understand how either of them survived.
Well, when one of them survives, so one of them secretly survives, and one of them kind of overtly survives.
Yeah.
And when the guy gets to the Belko experiment stage of it, the person comes out and is like, "Yo, you were expected to die first. You were supposed to suck at this. And from watching you did suck at it. No clue how you survived."
Yeah.
So the guy almost dies 10 times, then a guy comes out and is super mean to him and is like, "Hey, you sucked at that, by the way." But the main character, who's an actual smart person, she survives by she's throwing a fit and she's acting like she's like having a breakdown, but what she's really doing is she's smashing all the cameras in there, and then she dies because there's poison, and she dies, and they show the other people get out. They pass on. They make it to the next room, and there's a little like a cable, like something. Maybe it has oxygen or something.
I think that was what
that's within her reach.
Yeah,
but she's passed out and foaming at the mouth. Yeah. And it's like, well, you didn't get to that. You died.
Yeah, they just didn't show.
And then just later, she has a gun and she's killing the bad guys.
You know what it is? It's the what's it called? The Mummy. Remember how the guys? No, I know, me neither. I never saw the movie, but the Lights Camera Podcast guys told us that just in that movie, they show off screen. There's just a character that's brought back to life.
Hell yeah!
And so that's basically what happened in this movie.
Could have, you know what? It could have been a twin.
That's true. That's true. You can't rule it out. But let's talk about the traps. Because what was your favorite trap?
The Gimme Some Mo music video.
What's that?
The music video for Busta Rhymes' hit "Gimme Some Mo" is like a lot of swirling, black and white, the faces are like really big and like huge teeth and everything.
That's the point where the movie just really went off the rails.
One of the traps is like they just like fuck them up on drugs. Yeah. They get really high, and it's like you have to. What is it? You have to give yourself the antidote. The antidote, and there's only one. But you're really fucked up, so it's hard to get. So they're fighting over it. They admit to some things, maybe some unfavorable things. Jay Ellis mainly admits that he's a murderer, but he gets his because he dies like 3 seconds later.
Yes, I was thinking during that scene it would have been way cooler if the antidote was actually like poison, and Jay Ellis got it and wrestled it away, stabbed himself, and he was killed.
That's a big Saw move.
That is,
They do that in Saw a lot, where like if you're selfish and you go for the antidote, then it turns out that's poisonous. Yeah,
that would have been. It's one thing that they should have copied from Saw that they didn't.
Saw 2, there's what is it? There's a key or there's an antidote or something, and it's in an oven, and you got to get in and grab it, and of course, getting in and grabbing it. Shuts the door and turns the oven on. Yeah. Don't be so selfish next time.
Yeah, right.
Maybe think about that.
So I think my favorite escape room was the bar, the upside down bar.
That was kind of dope. That was a cool scene. Yeah.
That was I hadn't seen that anywhere before, which is a rare thing in this movie because they take it from everywhere. I think that was my favorite one. The floor falling out was crazy.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, it's not like just everything in this movie was very familiar and hackneyed and or stolen, but it was still like just like for what that movie is. Like you were saying at the beginning, it wasn't going to be an amazing movie, and hopefully it wasn't going to be a terrible movie. It was a perfectly fine thriller.
If you like those kinds of movies, you are going to probably like that movie.
Right. It's like a hate watchable movie, but it's not that terrible.
No.
You could have had Blumhouse in the name.
Yes. Stamp.
I guess Familiar.
Familiar is a really, really good one. I will say Survivable.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good, you see what I did there?
The movie review things, the newspapers, that's what it would be. It'd be like, tough to survive escape room.
Yeah, and I will say it is a survivable movie. I would be remiss not to mention the fact that before this movie started, the screen wasn't working in the theater I was at, and a man literally brought a baby to the showing, a literal baby, not like a 4-year-old, a baby, which is a wild move.
I don't hate that move because if it's a baby, like you don't bring a toddler to that movie, but if you bring a baby,
it's not going to get scarred by it.
It's not going to impact that thing at all. But if I have a baby, I'm going to bring that thing everywhere. It's once you have a toddler that the real problems start.
But what if the baby starts crying?
Then it's no different than an old person in a movie theater. True. It's like, I guess worst case, it's like going with an old person.
I'm cool with it if the person is willing to remove themselves from the setting. Like if your baby starts crying,
leave the baby, but you've got to. You have to leave. That's asshole tax on you for bringing it. The baby, it's not the baby's fault. You leave the baby, and that's it. Okay, what do we want next? The favorite or Poppins?
Let's do Poppins. But first, let's talk about some life insurance.
Neat.
Because life insurance is a deeply unfun topic, but it's necessary. Most people don't like thinking about dying. We do, you know that. And they definitely don't like thinking about insurance. But having life insurance feels great, and you can get that peace of mind without it being complicated. So, to do that, go to Policy Genius, because Policy Genius is the easy way to get life insurance. In minutes, you can compare quotes from top insurers to find coverage that you need at a price that you can afford. From there, you can apply online, and the unbiased advisors at Policy Genius will handle all the red tape, leaving you free to do the things that you actually enjoy. And Policy Genius doesn't just make life insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for disability insurance to protect your income, homeowners insurance, or auto insurance, they can help you get covered fast. So, here's your call to action. If you've been intimidated or frustrated, buy insurance in the past, give Policy Genius a try. Just go to policygenius.com to get your quotes and apply in minutes. You can do the whole thing on your phone right now. That's policygenius.com, the easy way to compare and buy life insurance. Yeah, let's do Mary Poppins, or more specifically, Mary Poppins, Here We Go Again.
Yes. The first thing I'll say about Mary Poppins is, Mary Poppins, Here We Go Again, it really assumes
You've seen Mary Poppins.
Yes. Like you are off book on Mary Poppins. And
like the first 2 minutes of the movie, it's like, you've seen Mary Poppins. Okay, right? All right, let's go.
And you're like, but when they're like, you've seen Mary Poppins, right? You're like, yeah, of course.
Like 15 years
right,
ago.
Like, yeah, I think I got this. And they're like, okay. And there's like just motifs and just all sorts of stuff they're throwing right at you.
There's no last time on Mary Poppins.
Exactly. Really could have used a last time on Mary Poppins. It starts off with Lin-Manuel Miranda. Manuel or Manuel?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Lin-Manny Miranda.
Lin-Manny Miranda is singing this song about London, and it's a lot about London, and he's singing it, and I was just kind of, I was like smiling, like looking like an idiot, looking around like,
anybody else lost?
Is this a ref? Right, like they've immediately lost me. What is? I don't know who this guy. Like, are we supposed to know who he is? He is crazy about London, which I feel like a lot of people are. Whatever.
This guy only has two interests. It's London and Mary Poppins.
So that's the thing. Let's just jump right in, okay? I owe Lin-Manny Miranda an apology, because I don't know if we said it on the podcast, but we were saying going into Mary Poppins that this is just going to be 2 hours of Lin-Manny Miranda sucking his own dick, because that's all he ever does. And no,
wrong. Sucks Mary Poppins' dick the entire
on Mary
time.
Poppins like crazy the whole time. That guy is fucking obsessed with Mary Poppins, which I don't necessarily blame him, because this is a world in which everyone is obsessed with Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
None more so than this guy, though. This guy is just... He can't stop thinking about Mary Poppins. He's always walking around watching kids, and then once Mary Poppins comes into the mix, oh boy, it's all over for him.
Yeah, he really only cares about two things: Mary Poppins and London, and like maybe to be the other woman that lives in Mary Poppins' house.
Yeah,
the child.
Shouts out Phoebe from 30 Rock, a.k.a. Mac from The Newsroom. I'm not sure what else we may have seen her in, but shouts out to her. She's in it, and she's great.
Shout out to Real Life Paddington, who is her brother.
Really?
Yeah, that guy.
That guy's Real Life Paddington?
That guy's
Bootleg
Real Life
Randy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bootleg Randy is Real Life Paddington. He also won a Golden Globe over the weekend. We can be happy about that one.
He did?
Yes.
So so what does it mean if the bootleg version of yourself wins something?
That's true. So that guy is in Mary Poppins this year.
That means that Randy gets a bootleg Golden Globe, because
that's true.
His bootleg counterpart, his bootleg counterpart won a Golden Globe.
Shout out to that guy who is...
Sorry, Randy, it doesn't count, even if it was a real Golden Globe.
Shout out to that guy who's in Paddington, Mary Poppins, and something called like The English Scandal this year. Ooh. All in this year. It's got to be the most British year of all time.
This is a very interesting movie. Bootleg Randy, I think, he, as we find out, I guess, or as we were supposed to know the whole time, he used to fuck with Mary Poppins when he was a kid. She was his nanny. And now he's got a dead wife, and he's got his kids that he lives with. They're living with him, and
they moved back in after his wife died.
As is his sister, as is
some
Rosie
old lady
from Rosie is her name. From a lot of Mamma Mia characters are in this.
Yes.
Rosie from Mamma Mia is their maid, and she go in a like 1.5 year span. She's like young and hot and smooching Stellan Skarsgård, and then in this, they just make her a mess. So she hates the kids. She hates everything. She hates Bootleg Randy, quite frankly. I hated Bootleg Randy right off the bat.
I thought he was fine.
He needs to find some very important paper in order to save his house, and instead he goes up in the attic and starts singing about his dead wife, and then he goes back down, like, having not searched for the thing, and is like, well, I'm done with the song.
So what more do you want from me?
Right.
The song didn't save my house. I'm done here.
Now, he needs to get this paper to save his house because, what's-his-face? It was my man, Colin Firth, is a bad guy who wants to seize the house. That guy wants nothing more than to get that house. Half of the scenes are people saying, like, hey, well, actually, they should keep the house for this reason. And he's like, but I really want that house. So
you are not going to be able to talk me out of taking this house.
he is hell-bent on getting that house. One of my notes, the bank, in all caps, really wants that house. And then my next note is, wait, I don't fucking remember Mary Poppins 1.
I don't remember the last time that I saw Mary Poppins 1. I remember zero things from Mary Poppins.
Yeah, so Mary Poppins comes to help them, supposedly, and she is so mean, but everyone is just constantly happy to be around her. They only refer to her as Mary Poppins. No one ever calls her Mary. No one ever calls her Ms. Poppins or Mrs. Poppins. Maybe she has a dead husband who is up with bootleg Randy's dead wife in heaven, looking down. She comes from a kite.
An umbrella.
An umbrella, yeah. She comes... Oh, no, yeah, that I knew. But no, they're flying a kite, and then...
That's true.
She kind of latches on and comes down.
I don't know what the point of that was. You can fly on your umbrella, lady.
Yeah, and you could fly on a lot of things. Watch Hocus Pocus for me one time.
I had no problems with Mary Poppins. I didn't think that she was mean. I thought that she was sassy.
No, right off the bat, she's, like, rude.
Well, I like that.
Yes, because it's Emily Blunt, and she's lovely.
Was Mary Poppins rude in the first one? I don't remember at all.
No clue. I don't remember a thing about it. I don't know who played Mary Poppins. There's a scene where they go to visit Meryl Streep. The entire cast of Mamma Mia is in this movie. They go to visit Meryl Streep to have something fixed, and they go visit her at her shop, and she sings a big song about how it's the second Wednesday of the month, and she can't fix things on the second Wednesday of the month because
everything gets upside down.
Whatever she does,
escape room.
Right. Whatever she does, she messes it up. Hey, maybe close the shop on that day then. Why were you at work for people to come visit you? You're only there to, like, sing a song about how you're totally useless to these people.
Yeah, that's true. I thought that was, like, a very unnecessary scene. Completely unnecessary in the grand scheme of that movie. It was basically just shoehorning Meryl Streep into the movie.
Yeah.
And... honestly, I thought that there was like several musical numbers that served no real purpose to the movie.
Oh yeah,
but
the P times for this movie are anytime someone starts to talk a little musically, within 8 minutes they're going to be picking it up to maybe kind of singing, and then 43 minutes later they're going to be in the middle of that song. They really took forever to get in their song.
The animated scene was like very, very long, but that was contained like a couple of the best songs in that. Movie.
I would like to see that on whatever drug they gave them in Escape Room, like where it's all trippy. They're all.
I thought that was very cool. Because
I
the one thing that I remember from Mary Poppins is that they go into a painting.
Mm-hmm.
And
don't remember.
Yeah, so I guess they go into a painting in Mary Poppins, and in this one they go into a bowl. And so, like, they had, like, a similar but not exactly the same sort of deal. And I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, and they tell them, whatever you do, don't go to the edge of the bowl. They go to the edge of the bowl, they fall off, and they're fine.
No real stakes.
There were just it was total bumper lanes this entire movie for those
like
kids.
The biggest stakes in this movie was like, hey, maybe they take this guy's house and he has to go live with his sister who offered to let him stay. Like this guy wasn't going to be homeless.
Right. I'll tell you who I do like in this movie. The Learys.
Who's that?
It's just Lin, Manny, Miranda, and a bunch of people exactly like him. They do pole dancing on light poles, and they seemingly just ride around town with ladders.
Yeah, turning on and off lights.
Turning things on and off. If you need something that requires a ladder, they are begging to help you out. They just sing a lot. They tap their feet a lot. That I could do. So it was like very late in the movie, and I was like, okay, now we're talking. Now these guys I like. they hype up balloons big time in this movie.
At the very end.
There's balloons, and if you get a balloon, you can do whatever you want. If you with a balloon in your hand, someone can shoot you, and you're like it's like the Mask. You'll just regenerate. You'll be completely fine. They do cancel Colin Firth's character. They could have given him a redemption arc, which would have been problematic, but they cancel him. They give him a balloon that, what does it do? It doesn't work or something?
He's like not. He doesn't have enough youthful spirit or something like that.
Right.
That his balloon won't float.
Right. So they cancel him,
Yes.
which is also problematic. So wasn't crazy about how they handle Colin Firth. I don't know what the option was because again, you can't give someone a redemption arc, and you can't cancel somebody. So it was tough times to be making this movie, I guess, for Mary Poppins.
They brought back Dick Van Dyke for a scene at the end.
Really?
He does some dancing. He's the old guy.
I may have been gone by that. That movie ended. It was like,
No, you were around for the balloon scene. So this one happened before. He was the Colin Firth's dad or uncle or whatever who comes in and does the dance on the desk.
Oh yeah, he was great. And Colin Firth is telling everybody like, "Hey, don't listen to him. He's got Alzheimer's or something."
But yeah, overall, I really liked. I wouldn't say I really liked it. I thought that it was cute.
It's a pretty cute movie.
Yes.
It's a pretty cute movie. Okay.
It was enjoyable.
Okay, what's your stamp?
My stamp is I don't know, I gotta think on it. What do you got?
I wasn't in the mood.
I would say I wish I saw the original. I think that's a good stamp that I can come away with. Or maybe
You should make clearly a sequel.
Clearly a sequel. Yes, that's a good review.
Okay, and lastly, let's go to we're going to do an actual real good movie.
Yes.
Something that you love the movie, I love the movie, Randy loved the movie, The Favorite.
Everybody seems to be loving this movie. It seems to be
A favorite?
a favorite.
Because
you, because we're Americans.
Say jumping in right now. No, but the band Chicago did the song "Color My World" and they threw a U in there, and it was really cool. It's my favorite of what will probably be nominated for Best Picture. I still don't necessarily have a grasp on what's going to be nominated for Best Picture.
Me neither. I feel like it's going to be like half movies that I'm going to have to see because I just like missed them.
But it's one that if it won Best Picture, I'd be cool with that. And I feel like last year, maybe, I had a tough time finding movies that I was like, hell yeah, I hope this wins. Actually, that's not true. I really wanted Phantom Thread to win.
I want to Get Out to win.
Yeah, I would have been cool with Get Out. I would have been cool with Phantom Thread. I was cool with Shape of Water. So
Yeah. And this is for sure, I think, at the top of my list. And I was just like... And I think a big reason why I loved it so much is because I went in expecting to hate it, and because it has that like when I saw the preview for it, I was with you the first time that I saw the preview. I forget what movie we went to see because we don't go to see movies together very often, but we were there together.
That's
the preview
right.
came on, and I
did a little gesture.
I immediately turned to you and I said, "Fuck that!"
Right, I think we did some of these.
Yeah,
some of the
throat slash.
Right, the Jonah
bro.
Hill, the Jonah Hill, and the in the stands thing.
Yeah, bro.
All I knew about it was that Emma Stone was in it.
All I knew was that it was like in colonial England or whatever, and that they wore those
still don't know
fancy dresses and stuff like that. I don't even know if it's colonial England. It's just like
I could not have told you what time it was. Seemingly, it was English.
Yes.
I put out there after that I loved it, but like Michael Scott when he's talking about The Wire, when he's all excited to be watching The Wire, I don't understand a word of it. It was like I got what they were saying the whole time, but I just didn't understand like
the lingo.
The setting. I just had no concept of the setting, but it's a very Wes Anderson kind of movie.
Yeah, so that's what that's what kind of caught me off guard. It has like this very proper sort
whimsical.
Yeah, but like it presents itself, or at least it presented itself in the preview. I think I was turned off as soon as I saw like the old style sort of like setting, the period piece of it. I thought that a lot of those movies tend to be very proper and very like
upper ass.
Uppity. So I went in expecting to hate it, but man, if this movie does not have like everything that you could want, it's got really funny points.
Yeah,
it's got it doesn't take itself too seriously, which was the thing that caught me most off guard.
It's cutting.
It's very cutting. It's dry at points. It's got a lot of drama. The performances are unbelievable.
All three of them rocked the house.
Unbelievable performances, and I would say even the guys did really, really well. The few male characters were great.
Yeah,
there was a duck in there that killed it.
Yeah, a lot of ducks.
Yes.
So when I said off the beginning that this is going to be a big year for Best Actress,
like you could have three of them from that movie alone.
Right. So I don't know what any of their names are. I know what Emma Stone's name is. She, I think, should be up for Best Actress. The Queen should be up for however they interpret it, either Best Actress or Best Supporting Actress. I know at the Golden Globes it was Best Actress, but the Golden Globes has no idea what it's talking about. And then the other woman, and I know that all three of them are big actors. They were all great.
Yeah, the performances were super, super strong. And so like, at what point were you like, okay, I'm very sold on this movie?
It was. I think it was like the second act or whatever it would be, because there's like a bunch of different acts, and I think early on in the second act or something, there was just like it was shot really cool. There were some really cool the
visuals
low,
were great.
like ground level kind of close ups on things, and I just remember thinking like, all right, so this is at least interesting to watch. And I was already quite smitten with the score. And once...
Yeah, the score is great.
Yeah.
And I saw a couple people like on Twitter complaining about the score.
Oh yeah, someone tweeted at me, they were like, oh, I'm surprised that you were able to make it through that score. I was like, what?
I was like, the score definitely added to that movie and the enjoyment of that movie. And there were a lot of very cool shots. One thing that I noticed that they did a lot was sort of like I don't even know what you would call it, but it was like a 3D rotational sort of thing where the camera just like swings around.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't do a cut. It swings around to see like the opposite end of the room, and I thought that was cool.
It's called the Birdman.
Yes. I mean, it's got to be up there for me in terms of like, I would say it's one of my favorite movies of the year, and it's one of the best movies of the year. It kind of hits both notes for me, and it definitely has Best Picture buzz, like no doubt. If it's not in the list of like for the Oscar Best Picture, like this is not a big prestige movie year.
Yeah,
it's got to be in there.
Well, I hope so. We haven't seen the, and I really don't want to see it. What's the other one? What's the one with Saoirse Ronan and
Mary Queen of Scots?
Yeah, I love Saoirse Ronan. But I need like a break from Saoirse Ronan movies. If this is the Saoirse Ronan movie I have to watch this year, like I can't do multiple like Elizabethan movies this year.
Yeah, and I think
The Favorite, and that was awesome.
And I think that one's going. I think the Mary Queen of Scots is going to be what I thought The Favorite was going to be.
Right, some boring ass
like its own ass Darkest Hour
theater.
Shit.
Yeah. Oh, Darkest Hour was the worst. Rami Malek winning and Bohemian Rhapsody winning is the angriest I've been with an award since Greta Van Fleet was nominated for a Grammy and friggin' Gary Oldman won.
And
disgusting.
I think we got to put a cap of like people pretending to be, or like biopic people, right, one a year. Ooh, just put one of them in.
They made you look like this person, so it was really good. If that's the case, then you know what movie wins every award this year?
What?
Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah. No, Rami Malek should be automatically disqualified from Oscar contention, Best Actor contention, because he was not even close to being the best, I'm going to pretend to be this guy of the year, because that is Christian Bale in Vice.
Oh, I was going to say bootleg Richard Jenkins for pretending to be Richard Jenkins on Halloween. Yeah. That's pretty good.
No, Christian Bale fucking killed in Vice, and so that should automatically disqualify Rami Malek in my mind. In this movie, the moment that I think I was completely won over was the dancing scene. The dancing scene where the guy just like starts doing the most
Hilarious.
insane dance.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah,
Right.
this movie is in on the joke. Or it's
definitely.
not even in on the joke, it is creating the joke.
There were many winks and nods throughout the movie, and for people that were like supposed to be very, very proper, obviously, kind of behind the scenes, nobody is as proper as that. Yeah. So, like the little side line, there's a line about a tongue that got big laughs from the theater, myself included. They're talking about Emma Stone, and the Queen says something about a tongue, and it may have even gotten like a fall back and clap, kind of whoop, there it is, kind of laugh. Yeah, great movie. I want any of these people to win or just be nominated. I still think that Melissa McCarthy was held up a movie kind of on her own. Not that that's not true, because the other guy was really good.
Yeah, I think that I'm going to be pretty obnoxious about The Favorite as things happen in the next couple of months, just because I don't want people to fall victim to like the way that I approached the movie, where like I would have for sure not have seen this movie had it not been for the podcast, and had it not been for like we got to knock everything out that's going to get Oscar buzz.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have gone to see that movie. And so I am going to like plead with people who enjoy movies to give that movie a shot, even if you don't want to see, even if you think that you don't want to see it, because it is absolutely one of the best movies of the year, if not the best.
What would what's your stamp for it?
Man, I'm going to say a powerhouse.
Mine is amazing, and I'm not just saying that, because I feel like there needs to be the qualified, because like someone sees that and people can say, hey, The Favorite's amazing, and you look at the trailer and you're like, yeah, but that's not the type of movie that I would like.
Right.
Well, shut up.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
This is the kind of movie that people say it's amazing because they feel like they have to say that it's amazing.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of movies like that. And we've been accused of that, by the way. Like, we've been accused of just like following crowds.
Really?
We've been accused of that, and we've been accused of being contrarians just for the sake of it, to get attention and stuff. I think that we are very, very honest with ourselves and with everybody that listens. We don't care like what the ratings are and stuff like that. This is one of the best movies of the year. I will go to war for that, and I don't think that many people will challenge me on it if they actually go see this movie. And I think that there are movies that convince people to say that they love them because they think that they should, and everybody else is saying that. I'll tell you, one movie that I don't get or don't fully get is Roma. Like that, I watched that movie this week, and that's getting like a ton of Best Picture buzz. There's a lot of like technical aspects that I really, really liked about it, but I'm telling you, don't really get it.
Well,
Story
everyone's
was not that
saying
interesting to me.
that it's really good, so I actually loved it.
She's a seamstress for the band. I wish my band had a seamstress. Pretty eyed, pirate smile. Too bad you'll marry a music man. Oh, ballerina, you must have seen her dancing in the sand. Oh, and now she's in me. How does that work? Always with me. Tiny dancer in my head. Tiny dancer. Oh, I like your one piece. I like your one piece too. But how it feels so real. Lying here and no one near but only you. And you can hear me. And I say, Satan. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Oh, got the headlights on the highway. Oh, lay me down in sheets of linen. 100-pound motherfucker. You're hard to busy day today. Oh, I'm gonna get some free pizza. Oh, can I have one of those fancy martinis with foam on the top? I got my brand new C-Con. Oh, yeah! Give it up for Miss